Just doing a quick check-in that everybody's here for the, I almost said noon o'clock, the noon historical sightseeing tour. If you're looking for a whale watch or a shuttle to anywhere in particular, this is not your vessel. And if you find yourself in that predicament, it's alright. Just head on down to the gangway or find a crew member, help get you situated. That got you real good. You jumped. It's aboard for every single one of you in the unlikely event of an emergency. Should there be an emergency, please listen to any and all instructions given to you from the captain and the crew. If you're using the stairs at any point, please use the handrails. There's no smoking aboard the vessel as well. That includes your vapes, cigarettes, e-cigarettes. If you got a cool pipe or a fancy cigar, please hold off. The wharf was built in 1710. Since it is still used today, it makes it one of the oldest wharfs in the country that is still in continuous use. And it was aptly named Long Wharf because when it was built, it was some 2,000. Dry Dock 3 that is still in use today. The USS Massachusetts battleship has been in there for repairs. Built another one, have a rock retaining wall between the two. Fill in the middle, all kinds of sand, gravel, covered with soil, and work our way along the shore that way. Or if anybody's been to the back bay, so back past the Boston Public Gardens, going towards Copley and the Prudential Center, that all used to be the Charles River. So what they did there is for 40 years, 6 days a week, they did a gravel fill. So they bring in gravel from Needham, a town a little ways away, by train, dump it into the Charles River. Once they displace the river enough, cover it over with soil, and now we have the back bay. So that's how the city has quite literally expanded over the years. Now if you look beyond all these sailboats here, you're going to see a rusty bridge a little ways away. That is the Northern Avenue Bridge, opened in 1908. It was designed by a group of MIT students. They were given the chance to rebuild this bridge. So 15 of that is to take down this one. The rest of it is to build the new one, which will look exactly like this one. They've captured the design of this one and stuck it into the new one, so it'll look just like this one. So they can transport all the cargo from South Boston across to downtown. But since it is locked open, you can see through it, which is very beneficial at this moment as to where the Tea Party actually happened. But as the city has expanded, it is no longer Harbor, and now it is Atlantic Avenue. Temporary structure. It used to live down by where the courthouse is today. But everybody fell in love with seeing shows there, so they decided to move it down here, rebuild it, make it a little bit more sturdy. Now it is a permanent residence. Most Bostonians call it its original name, including my boss, who's right over there. It was originally under the name Harbor Lights. The Legal Seafoods, many of you have probably heard of it at least. It's a very fine, fancy seafood restaurant around Boston and the New England area. But this is their quality control center, so this is where they make sure all their product is up to par before it is then sent out to all the restaurants. But you can see there's a big codfish there. That bad boy, 43 feet long, cost Legal Seafoods $750,000 to build. I've never heard, so it's kind of a strange looking building. That is actually one of two. So you see the one over there? If you look off the left port side, right next to the airport, you can see its identical twin sister. Collectively, these two buildings, they're an air exchanger. So they're a vent system for the Ted Williams Tunnel, which runs right beneath us right at the moment. It connects South Boston to the airport. It was built as a part of the Big Dig project, a very ambitious infrastructure project that the country undertook. The combat area has been able to boom and grow because many people have moved offices there, because now people can fly in, take the tunnel 5 minutes, you're at your office, and you're there for a meeting. Killed Massey. Now Massey was adored by all of the men at the fort, so they decided to avenge his death by getting Captain Green very drunk, taking him to the basement of the fort, chaining him to a wall, sealing him up inside, leaving him for dead. Ships coming from Europe. All the way back to the other side, we have a large yard full of lumber. It's a seaplane taking off right overhead. In front of us, in Charlestown, rising from the hills over there, you can see something that much resembles the Washington Monument. Surprise! No kidding. It's the Bunker Hill. You can imagine surprise, right? Decent. That's the Bunker Hill Monument. It marks for the Battle of Bunker Hill. It's classic Massachusetts right there. There are two ships here at the Navy Yard, the class destroyer. It's one of the last few ships to be hit by a kamikaze pilot. The pilot made it all the way down to the engine, killing 22 sailors in the process. The rest of the crew, though, was able to keep her afloat. Served in the Second World War as well as the Korean War. And now is here at the Charlestown Navy Yard as a museum ship, so you can go aboard and visit, which is also here as a testament to all of the ships that are built and prepared here at the Charlestown Navy Yard. This is a great shot with the two ships in the monument of the West. Now the other ship here at the Charlestown Navy Yard. Many of you may have heard of it. I saw a bunch of phones go up to take some photos. That is the USS Constitution over there, the big black and white ship with all the semaphore flags. The USS Constitution, oldest commissioned warship afloat in the entire world, built in 1797, has never lost a battle. First saw action against the Barbary pirates off the coast of Africa, but she gained fame in her great nickname in 1812. She was fighting the HMS Guerriere, a British warship off the coast of Nova Scotia, who was also undefeated at the time. Two undefeated ships going head to head. The Constitution sank the Guerriere in about 35 minutes. And the crew for the Guerriere, days later, with a big banner on it. So the Constitution's won 42 battles. It was returned with a big banner on it that said USS Constitution 43-0. 43rd battle sinks the Boston Police Building. I love that story. Civil rights activist. Built as a part of the Big Dig, takes I-93, lowers it into the tunnels beneath the city, spans the Charles River. When they dedicated the bridge, though, Leonard P. Zakim had previously passed away. Now you will see a white church steeple rising from the north end. That is the Old North Church, of course. I had to look it up because I thought the same thing too, and my boss helped me out. The pier were built off the wharf. The wharf is where the buildings are. They built the piers out. A warm January day, an unusually warm January day, the molasses expanded, burst from the container, and was sent rushing down Commercial Street at water from the harbor to dilute the molasses. The molasses was far too sticky and heavy. But the summer after the cleanup had finally ended, you could still smell it seeping from the foundations of homes when you walked down the street on very hot summer days. The red building behind it, long, short buildings, those are old warehouses. Shipping and trading day Boston. Mostly apartments now, but they're old warehouse buildings. Behind it is the sprawling skyline of downtown today. There's a great juxtaposition of then and now photo. You will notice a clock tower up there, though. That is the Custom House Tower. It was built atop what was at that point, the new Custom House. They built the top of it with the clocks in 1919, giving it most of its height. Excuse me, 1915. I was thinking of the 1919 molasses flood. But 1915, and when they did that, though, there was a law in the city at the time that you couldn't build over 125 feet high. But that was a federal building at the time, so they were like, 125 feet. So that building's 495 feet high. It was the first skyscraper in the city, as well as the tallest. Money shot home to look from the boat, past the flagpole, all the way up Lone Wharf, all the way up State Street to the old State House. Definitely a camera's ready. Moment, though, that's a picture you. There it is. And for anybody who's curious, that's the 2,000 feet. Long Wharf and right up to the edge of the State House. So that is the former 2,000 feet. The old State House, though, after the Declaration of Independence was signed and then brought to Boston, theory by historians, though, said in the skirmish between the soldiers and the colonists, somebody fell, the musket went off, the British troops and opened fire. It was assumed retaliation. 5 people killed. And 2 British are your best friends on the other side of the wharf. You partner up with them for the whale watches that go out. They also have a very big tank in there. It's 5 stories high. There's 3,000 different species of sea life in there. It's got one turtle. It's a 90-year-old sea turtle. It's only so long to get from the shark. They put the shark food in, it'll start to sink down, no matter what we did, all the sharks will suck the fish. As we're making our way back in, I do like to thank some people. So can I hear some cheers and hoots? for the captain, please. Thank you, Captain Evan. Similarly, with the same enthusiasm for all of the crew, please. Thank you to all of them as well. As I say to make your way back in, as the weapons off the using stairs until we have safely done, bring them gently off the side of the elevator. So for any immediate access to the music house, we have belongings with you. That's a different topic. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves today. Maybe you learned a couple things. You at least learned the difference between a pier and a wharf. Maybe you learned something else as well. I will be down at the gangway to send you all up. So if you have ask any questions, or want to say hello, give me a high five, anything like that, I'll be down there. I still look like a Best Buy employee. If you still haven't found me, get back in, so let me know. But on behalf of the captain, the crew, all of Boston Harbor Cruises, and myself, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your time here in Boston, everybody. Thank you very much.